believe it or not, that is not a fan-made edit. That is a literal scene from a 400 crore blockbuster movie released right before Tamil super mega giga star Vijay announced he was quitting from cinema forever.
In Kumbakonam, a full-size hologram Vijay takes the stage. Same voice, same gestures, same impact. From a distance, you can't tell the difference. In Coimbatore, it gets stranger. A campaign robot rolls down race course.
This clip perfectly captures just how theatrical, high-tech, and frankly completely unprecedented the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections have been. On May 4th, 2026, the Tamilaga Vetri Kharagam, sorry, Tamil pronunciations, I'm gonna try, okay? The Tamilaga Vetri Kharagam, or TVK, a party that didn't even exist 2 years ago, won a staggering 108 constituencies in a record-breaking 85% voter turnout in an assembly election. TVK absolutely shattered the 60-year-old party duopoly of DMK and AIDMK in the state. How did it do it though? Have you asked? Well, I am asking. Now, if you were watching the mainstream media while they were covering the assembly elections, they were completely obsessing over the optics. They talked about the futuristic holograms, robots being used to campaign, body doubles, and the pure spectacle of it all. Rivals openly dismissed the massive crowds that Vijay was drawing and called them Tarkuri, meaning foolish or uneducated fans who were just blindly chasing a movie star. But hey, if it was just about star worship, the sitting Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and 15 of their cabinet members wouldn't have lost their seats. You see, the media was looking at the circus, but they completely missed the science that went behind it all. Because beneath the holograms and the fandom lay a highly ruthless, calculated, strategic, and data-driven political coup engineered by behind-the-scenes strategists. And no, it was not this guy. No, Prashant Kishore did not work on this election. I checked. I actually asked the people who worked on it. But I'll tell you who did it all. I will. He didn't, for sure.
क्रेडिट लेने पहुंच जाते हैं कभी भी.
So, grab your popcorn, bring in the shitty graphics, and enjoy this fascinating ride. Let's unpack the TVK election playbook. Hello there! If you are new to the channel, let me tell you about a simple philosophy I follow. When I write these videos, I assume that you, the audience, does not know anything. And honestly, being a North Indian Delhi living person, I did not know anything about this also. And I was confused as hell. So, let's start with the basics, shall we? For the current subject at hand, the confusion is very real. Even for me. So it is difficult to understand how an actor just walks onto a political stage and instantly commands a 34% vote share. So my team and I have spent the last 3 weeks just studying the TVK's campaign, and holy mother of God, guys, the things we have uncovered here will kind of blow your mind. Especially if you have no idea what is going on. So yeah, get ready for that. To understand how we got here, we need to answer one fundamental question. Who is Vijay? Right now, at the age of 51, he is a literal titan of Tamil cinema. Before he quit his movie career, Vijay was a guy whose movies comfortably pulled in around 400 to 600 crores in the box office. He also commands a salary of 100 to 200 crore rupees per film. Yeah, he's actually among the highest paid actors in the entire country. But it wasn't always this way. So, he started out as a lead actor back in 1992. He was 18 years old and he was guided by his father S.A. Chandrasekhar, who was a movie director at the time. The reception to his first movie was brutal. Yeah, People ruthlessly criticized his looks, his performance, and everything about it. This is his first movie. I mean, he was 18, to be fair, and looked like this. So he didn't get a proper box office success until 1996. During this entire time, his father has been playing an instrumental role behind the scenes, carefully cultivating an on screen image for Vijay. A very, very specific kind of image. You see, in the great land of Tamil Nadu, cinema and politics aren't just a situationship type situation, they're married. Yeah, unlike Fattu Fuddu Bollywood, which keeps away from politics, a lot of commercial Tamil movies completely revolve around political and social messaging. And over the years, Vijay's movies started dropping hints that grew less and less subtle about his intentions. Just take the movie Thalaiva from 2013. The tagline of this film was literally "Time to Lead." So this single tagline apparently caused such a massive panic within the AIADMK, the government back then, that Chief Minister at the time J. Jayalalitha effectively stalled the movie's release in the state. Why? Because the administration perceived it as a direct political challenge and a display of Vijay's real life political ambitions. I mean, Jayalalitha also used to be a movie star, so she knew very well where this can actually end up. Yes, that. Anyway, then came Marcel in 2017. In this movie, Vijay plays a doctor charging just 5 rupees for treatment, and in the climax, he delivers a fiery dialogue comparing India's GST on medicine with Singapore's free medical care. This time, the BJP went absolutely berserk, by the way. One of the leaders even publicly identified Vijay by his Christian name to suggest the film had an anti-Hindu bias. Normies look at it like, "Hi Toba, what is happening?" But I look at it as free publicity, right? Free? भाई बीजेपी ने भाव दे दिया उसको. And then by 2018 came Sarkar. At this point, he wasn't even hiding it anymore. He plays a powerful businessman who returns to Tamil Nadu, discovers electoral fraud, and directly takes down a corrupt legacy political family through democratic means. At the audio launch of this movie, Vijay stood in front of a massive crowd and said, "I am not playing a chief minister in Sarkar, but I will not act like one if I become chief minister. I will be honest."
நிஜத்துல முதலமைச்சரானா முதலமைச்சரா நடிக்க மாட்டேன்.
What killer lines! Now, if you are a cynical political analyst, you look at this and think,
Okay, fine. He has a screen image. But screen images don't build a party infrastructure, you know.
and you would be totally correct actually, except while the crowd was watching his movies, Vijay was quietly running a 15-year shadow campaign on the ground. Did he plan all of this out, or did he just go through the motions and sort of figured out as he went along? Who knows these things? You decide. But if you look at it as a giant grand plan, it just becomes more fun. Anyway, back in 2009, he did something clever that no other contemporary actor in Tamil Nadu has done before. He took his massive fragmented network of over 85,000 fan clubs and consolidated them into a single registered welfare organization called the Vijay Makkar Iyakkam, or VMI. Yes, he turned a fan club into a socio-political organization. Crazy. For over a decade, this was not just a fan club, it was an undercover social work machine. VMI opened free canteens, built study centers, distributed computers, ran blood donation camps, and handled major disaster relief operations during cyclones and floods. On top of that, whenever there was a major regional pain point, Vijay just showed up. out of nowhere. He was seen fasting in solidarity with Sri Lankan Tamils in 2009. He organized hunger strikes for Tamil fishermen in 2011. In 2017, when a young student named Anitha tragically ended her life after failing the NEET exam, Vijay quietly went to her house in Ariyalur to console the grieving family. In 2018, when 14 people were killed during the anti-Sterlite protest in Thoothukudi, he did the exact same thing, visited the victim's family quietly. Slowly and steadily for years, he was building trust among the people at a very grassroots level. Thanks to this VMI, he had a massive information network that alerted him when and where he needs to make a special, impactful appearance. Like a freaking movie star, which he is. And just to prove to the public that this machine was entirely his vehicle, run on his terms, something weird happened in 2020. Remember Dad, S.A. Chandrasekhar? Yeah. So Dad saw how giant this VMI was turning into and tried to turn it into a political party. Yeah, he tried to register it himself. Vijay was like,
Yeah, no, Dad, not now. Not now. I has plans.
and then he literally filed a lawsuit against his own parents for using his name and face without permission. Absolute cinema. Then we come to the pivot year, as I call it, 2022. Vijay decided to do a dry run. Members of his VMI fan club contested the Tamil Nadu local body elections as independent candidates. They didn't even have an official registered party yet, but they secured victory in 115 seats. Not bad for a first attempt. This was kind of like proof of concept for them. And then it was time to go crazy. And he did. February 2024, Vijay drops a bomb. He announces the launch of his party, Tamilaga Vetri Khalagam. Got that better, didn't I? Or TVK. And declares he is contesting the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. On top of that, he declares that he is walking away from his mega successful movie career to work for the people as a full-time politician. That caused quite a stir, to put it mildly. Fast forward to October 2024, TVK organized its very first Manadu, or mega political rally in Vikravandi. Reports say that over 8 lakh people attended this single rally. This is where Vijay unveils the party's core ideology as secular social justice. Essentially, standard Dravidian politics. He draws his battle lines kind of perfectly. The BJP is his ideological adversary and the ruling DMK is his political adversary because of its alleged corruption and dynastic politics. He also took a shot at the AIADMK for aligning with the BJP. Oh wait, ये गलत हो गया एरो मेरा तो. My bad. इधर जाना चाहिए था. Okay, done. He took a shot at them for aligning with the NDA. This was him basically declaring that in this two-party political landscape, he is the third front that everyone has been waiting for. He openly told other regional parties,
Hey, come join hands with me for a pre-poll alliance, and I promise to share power with you when we together come to government. Okay.
but DMK and AIDMK were like,
No thanks. No thanks. We are the traditional rulers. वैसे who are you exactly? Who? Vijay? Who?
So TVK was like, okay then, and was left to fight all 234 constituencies completely alone. And just when things are heating up with the campaign, disaster strikes. In September 2025, during a campaign tour in Karur, an absolute nightmare unfolds. A massive stampede results in 41 tragic deaths and over 120 injuries. Immediately, a CBI inquiry is launched by the central government and parties go into an overdrive. Mainstream media starts heavily criticizing this newly formed party, claiming TVK has zero organizing capabilities and cannot even manage its own crowds. Because of this incident, police permissions for future mega rallies get delayed or denied across multiple districts. This is where TVK's entire momentum led them to essentially drive off a cliff. Now, if you are the ruling party and you see all of this, you think the game is over for this upstart TVK. This Vijay dude is done. But keep this in mind, people tend to look at the surface things, but they miss the undercurrents. Interestingly, the people of Tamil Nadu actually blamed the DMK administration's failure for the stampede more than TVK. Even the family of the victims of the stampede, they came out and said that they are going to support Vijay. So, what is happening here? You see, beneath the surface of a state that looked stable, a quiet public resentment was brewing. Women were furious about rising neighborhood drug abuse and a failing law and order situation that nobody was addressing. Youth were fatigued by unemployment and the perceived arrogance of the DMK and AIDMK duopoly. Trust was quietly draining away from both sides, which created a void. The state was kind of ready to snap and sort of trust someone else. TVK just needed a mechanism to channel that energy without relying on massive public rallies, because his public rallies were also getting banned, by the way. Yeah, that's when another secret weapon came in. The three wise men. While the media was busy character assassinating Vijay over his acting background, his personal life, a small and highly specialized core strategy group was quietly building a campaign operation from scratch. This operation was being run by three dudes most people have never even heard of: John Arakiyasamy, Kapil Sahu, and Divyashish Sharma. Yes, this nerd! And he's my friend. I kind of spoke to him about this campaign and he gave me some interesting insights. So I'm going to focus on him. Don't mind, thoda bias hai. First, let me tell you about my friend Divyashish a little bit. So Divyashish Sharma is a BITS Pilani graduate. He is an IIM Calcutta Public Policy alumni, a former LAMP fellow like me. That's how we got in touch and became friends. He's currently a political consultant with over a decade of experience across 10 states, working with everyone from BJP to Aam Aadmi Party. He decided to go solo in 2024 and help the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, a new upstart party, win elections in the state. His client won 31 out of the 32 seats, which also won him an award. It's called the International Reed Award for Political Consulting. I honestly didn't even know that you get awards for this. But hey, good on him. Good on him. Now, back to TVK. Sharmaji helps him set up an analytical firewall around TVK. He builds a confidence potential model. In simple words, he made a map of pockets in the state where TVK had concentrated support despite all the shit that is going down. Traditional surveys saw absolutely nothing. But these three wise men, they saw something else. They saw opportunity. They deployed something called a psychographic motivational profile. The idea was to answer one simple question: track and find out exactly why voters are leaving the two old parties and what do they want. And since TVK could not do massive physical rallies anymore due to permissions, the strategy team pivoted. They were like, if we can't bring people to a stage, we take the stage to them. They bypassed the mainstream media entirely and launched a hyper-localized, decentralized offline and online campaign. They weaponized an army of online virtual warriors, influencers, techies, and everyday citizens who flooded social media with reels entirely for free. Yeah, Vijay starts doing short, fast-paced road shows that end with tight, impactful dialogue-style speeches.
எப்பவும் எதிரியும் தன்னோட தனித்தன்மை இழக்கவே இழக்காது. Yes, a lion is always a lion. There are so many jackals and other animals in the forest, but there will be only one lion. And even if it is single, it will be the king of jungle. It is not only a description but also a clear declaration.
I mean, he is a movie star after all. No surprises there. There is this one viral speech where he speaks directly to teenagers and kids, asking them to convince their parents and grandparents inside their homes to change their votes. So now, while the other legacy parties are doing the usual giant rallies in mega venues, TVK campaign wasn't happening on the streets. They managed to reach the living room through phone screens, social media, and of course, algorithms. They gamed the system. And then they did something else, and this is my favorite part. TVK picks a whistle as the election symbol, and it becomes a instant cultural phenomenon. Because Vijay had done a song 2 years before the campaign called Whistle Podu. This is from Vijay's blockbuster movie, The Goat, greatest of all time. So essentially, he had released the party anthem before he started the campaign. Like, just read the beginning of this song. I have put in the lyrics, okay? This is how it goes. Shall I start a party? Shall I set the stage on fire? Can I start the campaign? Take the microphone. And then there is Prabhudeva in this song who asks, what are you saying, Vijay? Are you starting a campaign? And then Vijay is like, Arey no, I meant champagne. Sure, Vijay, sure. We all know what you mean. I mean, could he be any more obvious? This movie was released in 2024. Again, think about it. The campaign song was written and put on a big screen even before the campaign started. What is this random 5D chess being played here? It broke my brain a little bit. So during the campaign, Vijay asked people to draw the whistle symbol as rangolis outside their doorsteps. On election day, thousands of supporters show up at polling booths dressed in uniform, white shirts and brown pants. The exact attire that Vijay wore throughout his road shows. And of course, they deployed high-tech holograms and robots to campaign in areas where Vijay couldn't physically visit. They also used body doubles because, again, Vijay is omnipresent, clearly, either through a hologram or just a body double. Amazing. But another masterstroke was the candidate list. Instead of fielding wealthy, corrupt legacy politicians, TVK fields fresh faces, educated young people, social activists, an IRS officer, popular social media personalities like Raj Mohan, and people from incredibly humble backgrounds as well, like the son of Vijay's own personal driver and also an auto rickshaw driver. He picked his candidates from his cadre primarily instead of importing them from other parties like the other non-biological entities in power right now. Yeah, he actually rewarded his cadre for working so hard. Also, we did see some shady characters in his candidate list. There were some, shady businessmen and some people who were in other parties before also. But largely, this is how he did his ticket distribution. I'm not saying it was 100% clean. Just saying. By the time voting day arrives on April 23rd, the old parties think that they are fighting a movie star's fan club. They had absolutely no idea that they were walking into a highly automated, data-driven, political, meat-grinding machine. Yeah. And on May 4th, 2026, shit gets real. On May 4th, 2026, the counting began and TVK started gaining like crazy. They swept 108 constituencies. The sitting Chief Minister M.K. Stalin lost his seat and 15 of his cabinet ministers also lost. Again, absolute freaking cinema. This thing. Think about it, the whole election story here does read like a bizarre, dramatic movie script, doesn't it? I mean, I see it too. That's why I think this is so interesting. So, what is the actual takeaway here? What can we learn from the Vijay playbook? Because if you think this is just another case of a superstar riding a wave of fandom, you are kind of missing the most historical political lesson of the decade. To put it simply, TVK is the only brand new party to find massive electoral success post Narendra Modi in the last 10 years. And they did it by shattering some absolute ironclad laws of Indian elections, which earlier we thought were laws. Now they aren't. I personally have learned these 4 lessons from the campaign. First, they completely broke the entrenched electoral caste arithmetic of Tamil Nadu. So usually parties spend months calculating which community dominates which constituency. They pull out voter lists and run softwares to identify last names, and then they categorize them according to caste. Then they find out where is the concentration. All that jazz. Vijay's debut though, it cut across traditional social bases in completely orthogonal, independent ways, totally redrawing the electoral map. While the other legacy parties were still going by this combination, he didn't. But how did he transcend that? Well, the answer is right here. The movies! Yes, the movies! This. Just think about it. Everyone watches movies. Vijay used his star power to carefully build an image of himself as the leader of Tamil Nadu. He planted that idea in the heads of his voters even before they knew they were going to become his voters one day. 5D chess chal raha tha. The guy is Christian. The legacy parties tried to bring his identity into the conversation, but that failed completely. Even BJP tried to do like this whole anti-Hindu narrative against him. Didn't work. Nobody cared what religion or caste he belonged to. All they cared about was... Yes, that again. Second lesson. TVK completely debunked the old adage of अगर कैश नहीं दोगे तो वोट नहीं मिलेगा और no cash, no vote. Tamil Nadu has a notorious reputation for vote buying, but TVK proved that it doesn't have to be that way. I think the earlier VMI fan club organization played a big role in this. People were willing to work for him because they believed in Vijay, not because he would pay them, but because they genuinely believed in who he is. Probably they were big fans of his, they trusted his intentions. So they just came out and voted for him without getting paid. What a novel concept. Again, I am saying this from the little bit of research and asking around that I have done. If you got paid by Vijay, please leave a comment below because I might be wrong. I was not on the ground. But from what I've heard, they didn't. Who knows these things? But if that is true, in a strange turn of events, the victory of his party proved that public morality isn't permanently scarred. You don't need to hand out cash in envelopes if your ground campaign is rooted locally and organized for a decade plus. Especially if you touch upon the issues people care about and show up when they need you, like these things. Vijay did that again and again every opportunity he got. He was kinda omnipresent when you think about it. He just showed up very randomly at places where he was needed. It's an interesting strategy. But if I had to get a little bit personal here, I think the real masterstroke, for me at least, came after the whole stampede situation. I personally had legit thought that Vijay and TVK were done for. But the strategy consultants that worked with him did a crazy job of pulling him out of that pickle. Also, sorry again, I have a bit of bias because again, Divyashi Sharma is a lamb fellow like me, and I am so goddamn proud of what he did. I swear, what a guy. What a guy. Well done, sir. And the other two also. No. Well done, sirs. Well done, sirs. And the fourth lesson is their policy plan. The actual ideology and policy plan, which I think was really well thought out. So while traditional parties were stuck in the past, Sharma and the TVK's core team did something incredibly unique with their manifesto. They didn't just like copy paste other manifestos and put it in their own, like it usually happens. They kind of tried to make it more 21st century governance document, and they melded it with the deepest civilizational roots of Tamil Nadu. For example, the Thirukural's 3 pillars: Aram, which means virtue and righteousness; Porul, which means welfare and economy; Inbam, which is happiness and community. These 3 were the founding principles of everything that was built on top. There was some real brain power that went behind this branding and strategy. Think about the psychological impact of this. It told voters that TVK's modern politics flowed directly from ancient Tamil heritage, and the actual policy content was also quite ambitious, if I may say so, and presented decently as well. They proposed a $1.5 trillion economic vision for the state by 2036. They promised doorstep delivery of governance, and they have promised to create India's very first Ministry of Artificial Intelligence to ensure that the young people are ready for an AI-driven future. They also introduced a budget architecture for climate action and social justice. And all of this is being run on one logic: earning more, wasting less, and building new revenue streams. And of course, they positioned themselves as a purely native, powerful regional third front alternative. TVK also completely suppressed the BJP's momentum in the state, which was there during the last election. Thoda sa gain hua tha unka. So now Tamil Nadu's politics is firmly regional again. Basically, people like me sitting in Delhi had no idea that this was happening until it actually happened. Now when I look at all of this, I'm like, this is bonkers, man. How did I miss all of this? How? But hey, you know me, I consider myself to be a reasonable guy. While this victory is absolutely historic, we also have to look at the grey areas, because being a fanboy is easy. I'm not trying to be a fanboy. I literally found out about him three weeks ago, and I have spent a lot of time with Vijay, if I may say so. I do think he ran a very clever and very well thought out campaign, and I just wanted to figure out what we learned from it. But here's the thing. Winning an election and running a government is a completely different ballgame. And on that, I do have some concerns. First of all, Vijay has said that he has a strict zero press policy, which is not good. He's not going to give any press conferences. Prime influencer Narendra Ji Modi Ji, the first of his name, has been following this policy since 2014, and now Vijay is going to do that as well. Even after winning 108 seats and navigating a highly tense hung assembly situation to pull off a 144 vote majority in the House, he has not given a single open press conference. Yeah. His speeches are small, highly emotional, and written like movie dialogues. That's great for a campaign trail, but I don't think that's a great idea when you become the chief minister, or become a representative for that matter. Citizens deserve clear, unscripted answers on complex policy issues. They need to see Vijay deliberate, discuss, and debate ideas before implementing them. They need to see that he is listening, thinking, deliberating, and then acting. I know a lot of people have their hopes pinned on him. I hope he doesn't disappoint us. Yes, me included. But I don't know, I have a weird feeling he's going to disappoint us. Sorry. Here's another thing. His image is being treated as completely untouchable right now. Whenever something goes wrong, the blame is directed at other TVK members, but whenever there is a win, the credit only goes to Vijay. This is hero worship culture, which has always led to authoritarianism in politics. Without fail. Tamil Nadu has seen this already many times. Prime influencer is also another big example of this. I mean, Vijay has bhakts as well, by the way. Very, very dedicated ones, and some of them are terrifying. Like this guy who slit his throat on counting day when he heard rumors that Vijay was losing. Yeah, no, that is not a good sign. Nope. Third thing, Vijay is doing some weird things. Right after the win, Vijay appointed his personal astrologer as an officer on special duty in the government. The backlash from the public, allies, and the youth was so immediate and widespread that the party had to awkwardly revoke the appointment the very next day. On top of that, to survive the hung assembly, we are already seeing defections with members of the AIDMK supporting TVK to help them cross the majority mark. So even the party politics is getting a little weird in the state. We don't know because if old party people who people have voted against just end up joining the TVK, that's bad. No, that's bad. Which then begs the question, is TVK actually changing the old political game, or are they just the same wine in a new bottle? Objectively speaking, I remain highly skeptical that we will see a radical change in how the state is governed, because beneath the high-tech manifesto, many of the core principles everything kind of looks exactly the same. There are the same old welfare schemes which have been rebranded. They were launched by DMK and AIDMK multiple times over the years. But there is one silver lining in all of this. It is the people, the youngs. It is very evident now that the young people of Tamil Nadu have become more politically active and vigilant than ever before. And also because their strategy involved a lot of social media and content and activation, it is only obvious that when they come to power, young people will use the same thing to question them now. People feel powerful enough to question the system again, at least for now. Even if a TVK government doesn't structurally fix everything overnight, public accountability in the state seems to be at a high right now. There is newfound hope. The old tired politics of extractive clientelism is no longer enough to satisfy a population that is demanding brand new ideas. And for that, we must thank TVK and Vijay. Don't know about you, but it feels like a breath of fresh air. For now. At least his campaign was. Hope you had fun learning about it as much as I did finding all of this out and telling you about it. Now the spotlight is fully on TVK and Vijay, and in this film that you and I are watching now, there are no retakes. Let's hope he lives up to his promises. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.